Hey guys, we flipped into the win here, and we are back with the Nemesis Gaming League, and we are in the rival league once again. Joining me in the booth is Ventus. Ventus, man, how you doing? Are you ready to see the best team in all of Nemesis? Better than all the Titan teams, too, I promise.
You know, I don't know if I agree with that one, but I'm
Okay.
hoping for a more exciting matchup. This is the other rival league matchup of the day. Obviously, the other one was not super close, and you were a big proponent of that. But I'm hoping this will provide a little bit more content. The Gravelords are the one seed, though. They are undefeated. They will be the team to beat. And, Distortion had to fight their way through play-ins. They didn't look in like that great against the playing teams against Galaxy, and so I'm a little worried. I think that Distortion has a really high ceiling, especially if Ksen and Sprinkle are on their game. But if they're not, things could go really south really quick.
Yeah, they can. So we'll have to see, if they are on top of their game. Because I do think if Kaysen and Sprinkle and Arc, those three players, I think they're pretty comparable to the three players on the other side of the Gravelords. It's just I think this Gravelords team is super good together. Like Afterburner and Gamebuster, those two have been playing twos longer than I've been alive. And I know that's a lie, but it's pretty close. So that's just those two specifically. I know have been um, around a lot, and so they like to play twos with each other all the time. And Silver just slots super well in as that third man. I do think if there is a weak link in this team, um, I would have to see someone find it because I haven't yet. To be honest, like this, it's gonna be tough. I'm trying to give some Distortion hope here. Distortion, I think, can like pop off. I think they have the skill to. This Gravelers team so far has looked really solid, so we'll have to see if they are on their A game tonight. Ventus, if you had to give me an early prediction here, just give me what you think. Is it gonna be a 4-0? Is it gonna be a 4-1? Like what do you think is gonna happen?
Considering Distortion isn't even here yet and they're running late, which means that they aren't going to be warmed up or anything of the sort, we have Gravelords already in here waiting their turn, waiting for the team to join. I just feel like it's going to go really, really fast. I think it's going to be a 4-0 sweep. I think it'll be really close games. I think you could sprinkle in an overtime or two in there, but I think that it'll end up being a sweep. I think that Gravelords are just a better team. They want it more. They want the perfect season, and I just feel that Distortion does not care as much as them. The winner of this game, regardless, will get to play the winner of Arrival and Whiteout, which I
Mm-hmm.
believe is tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Um, so that one should be a very exciting game, though. That one I am very looking forward to. But yeah, I mean, you have the other side of the bracket, the Bearcats waiting. I mean, they have the Pineapples now. That game happened earlier, so the Pineapples are taking on the Bearcats, which is your team, which could be a very interesting game. The 6 seed obviously upsetting Hydra, the team that we thought was going to be the team coming out of that. Um, but anything could happen. There's a reason that Cinderella runs are made. There's a reason that upsets can happen. Is if it's not your day, it's not your day. And maybe that's today for the Gravelords. We don't really know. But I don't know how to feel considering that Distortion is still running behind.
Yeah, I think they're icing him a little bit. So they just gotta
Mm-hmm,
buy a little
mm-hmm.
time, ice him a little bit. I do think though, going into this game, this Distortion roster of it's Sprinkle, Kaysen, and Arc Beeble. Those three at like are individually really talented players, but I want to see a lot more passing than what we saw the last time that they played, which, in all fairness, was a pretty good and dominant play in bracket run. I think that they actually looked really solid. They played better, in my opinion, than Lightspeed did against Galaxy. And I think the sweep against Thunderbirds was very well. Actually, it was an FF, but you get my point. They did at least dominate that Galaxy roster. Um, at least they played them better than Lightspeed did. So I do think that this Distortion team does have the parts. It's about making that machine go. And the player I'm looking at for that to happen is going to be Kaysen. We saw he's top 6 in a lot of stats a top 5 and a lot of stats. He can be that player. Last time against Galaxy, he didn't step up quite to the level that I wanted him to, but him and Sprinkle were starting to find a little bit of connection there, Ventus. And so I think those two, if they're able to get down that connection, and you have Arc Beeble, who's a very solid shooter and positions really well for his teammates, can be a very scary threat. And one or two bounces go your way. You keep these games close. Anything can happen in these one-goal games, and that's got to be the formula, I think, for this Distortion roster. I don't know if they want to get into a shootout against this Gravelords team because I know Afterburner can score the ball. I know Gamebuster and Silver can score the ball. But I do think that Distortion does have the firepower to score and keep up with them. I think the biggest difference in all of this is the defense, and I think Gravelords are so solid on defense where I think that's where Distortion are going to falter.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think that defense is going to be the name of the game. If Distortions start to fall behind, we're going to see lots and lots of stressful commits and double commits and just being very panicky. And I think Gravelords are going to take full advantage of it. So if they can come out with very clean defense, if they can come out with clean rotations, cutting in the midfield to relieve pressure, keeping possession and transition, I think those are going to be the big things that are going to help Distortion. I think they also need to come out and take game number 1 and send a message like, hey, we can keep up. We can compete with this team. And kind of like, I think taking game number 1 is just very crucial because I think you need the momentum at the beginning of the series. And I hope that now that everybody is here, we can get this underway. 2 minute of leeway, but we will kick off game number 1.
And game number 1 right underway. Gamebuster going to win that kickoff, but it's going to go to Ksen. Already in the air. Afterburner pre-jumped him, has that touch. Red. Sprinkle now trying to take a little bit of control. Arc going to have to follow up that touch from Game. Gets a nice beat on Afterburner. Gamebuster with 0 boost, a little awkward. Just trying to touch from the corner. Arc looking for the pinch. That one bounces out mid, but a little too far as Afterburner now in the air. Gets bumped, but doesn't do much to him. Gets the reset. That shot is going to be good. Sprinkle with 0 boost, able to make the save. Already Gravelords looking for the counter attack. Sprinkle looking for the touch. That's a touch out. Arquivo looking for the follow. Tries to get the beat on Afterburner. Afterburner was last man back there. Could have been a goal opportunity. But some demos coming through means an open net here. Ksen, you get back to it. No, Afterburner skims it through, and that goal going to kick off the Gravelords postseason run.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great shot, but Gamebuster had 0 boost. Afterburner, great cover there, putting that, redirecting it into the back of the net. Ksen almost was able to get back off the respawn, but unfortunately, it just wasn't in time. I mean, with Afterburner's great shot and kind of redirect, it wasn't going to be able to be easy. And Gravelords starting off strong, they were able to take control of the midfield pretty easily and just kind of work their way, get some beats, and then the crucial demos as well were able to just kind of open the path wide and allow the Gravelords to just take full advantage of that. They're going to come out swinging early, and unfortunately that's not what you want to be for Distortion. You want to be the opposite, right? You want Distortion to have all the momentum. You want to have them have the pressure on offense, and they are a very good offensive team. You don't necessarily want to see them getting cornered and shut down on all sides of the ball, and so for them not to be able to come out and be aggressive and kind of get shut down already by the Gravelords is not a very good sign for the long run.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing though. Distortion, Arc Bevo trying to take a lot of control. That time he just tries to put a shot on net. As Afterburner doesn't have a whole lot of boost. Ksen trying to find the bounce mid. Sprinkle's going to be there. Gets the beat. Doesn't have the shot. Afterburner was able to pick up the corner boost and gets the clear now. Looking for the counterattack right away. Gravelords again getting physical. A huge demo there from Silver. Sprinkle now trying to chase this one down. Gamebuster pops that one mid. Looking for another touch. It's just a free shot for Ksen. It doesn't get the touch. Sprinkle still able to keep that ball in the Gravelords half, but Gamebuster pinches it all the way down to the other end. Silver looking for a touch. It's a touch from Sprinkle instead. Afterburner goes over Arc B-ball there to the back wall. Ksen waiting for it off the corner. Looking for one more touch. It's going to be Gamebuster though. Trying to keep that ball in play. Maybe midfield here. Nobody from the Gravelords is there. Afterburner trying to get that ball midfield once again. Looking for a huge 50 there. Nobody on the Gravelords willing to commit after that. But Gamebuster still winning these 50s so hard. Continuing to put pressure on Distortion. Making them use their boost so well. But RPBall able to get the beat there. A huge touch there from Gamebuster. Ksen able to get the beats. Ksen now Looking for an opportunity. It's going to be Sprinkle up in the air. Afterburner. He's able to make the save. But Arc, B-Ball, the shooter, able to put that one away. One double commit is all it took. And Distortion strike back.
Yeah, that's just a good shot there by Arc B-Ball, taking full advantage of the double commit, able to follow that 50 off the back wall perfectly. And, I mean, they're able to tie it up. They were able to fight back. They took control of the midfield. They regained it from Distortion. They went toe-to-toe. They cut off rotations. They were able to get a couple of beats as well. It did help that there was a really crucial double commit that came through, and Gravelords have been double committing a little bit more than I've seen from them normally, which is crazy because we only saw it twice. But, I mean, it's a good sign for them. You want to be able to come out and put them on their back foot and kind of push them into playing a bunch of defense, and they have been able to do that. They've been able to rack up 6 shots to Gravelords 2, and even though Gravelords were able to get a goal in those 2 shots, it's still a good sign. They've been able to keep up speed-wise with Gravelords, which has been the biggest issue with a lot of rival league teams.
Yeah, and then another opportunity coming once again. Some more pressure here. Arc B-Ball with a huge 50. Game Buster with the boost, trying to hit that ball clear. Afterburner following up that touch, able to get a huge double touch there. Ksen, the long clear. Silver off the backboard, but that's just a free touch for Arc. Arc not able to put the shot on target, but Ksen continues to put on the pressure. Silver, no boost to work with, just has to give a pop out. Game Buster now looking for the play, looking for the air dribble bump. It's going to be Sprinkled with the save. Ksen, the clear. 0 boost, able to pick up the mid. Game Buster gets the bump. Arc B-Ball looking for the 50, doesn't have the boost to take a shot, so I think the 50 was a good play there. Arc B-Ball trying to get that ball to the corner, but Silver was waiting for it. The shot just off the post. Sprinkle towards the midfield. Ksen and Arc double commit here, but still a shot on target. Game Buster has to save that one away. 50 seconds remaining as Silver gets one pop. Looking for a follow. Maybe looking for a flick of his own. The solo play almost got through, but Game Buster now says it's his turn. Sprinkle with a nice little matrix right there. Afterburner double touches it to his own corner, where Game Buster pops that ball up high, and we have a rule 1. Game Buster and Arc B-Ball. I know those 2 players are not breaking this one. Afterburner going for it. The shot is going to get blocked, and Silver on the breakaway looking to beat out Sprinkle, but